all my life. Been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life. Yeah, all my life.
Welcome to Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City, 1510 AM, 94.5 FM, 1510.com, Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope. Again, if you want to find us, you can find us. Sterling Holmes.
Yeah, this is not where's Waldo.
Live in studio. Darren Smith decided it was too windy today, so he's doing it from his home studio. Darren, how you doing?
Too windy, huh? Man, I'm on the grill today, man. With the weather being like it is, I'm on the grill today, so it's the only way I know how to roll.
So it cut out there, Darren, but my lip reading may be pretty good here. Are you on the grill? Was that what it was?
Yeah, I'm on the grill. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. Is everything good? Because if you can't, I'm at to disconnect and connect back. But no,
yeah, you're back. You're
okay.
back now, baby.
Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah, no, I'm on the grill today, man. I woke up and saw how nice the weather was going to be, and the only thing I thought about doing was throwing a couple slabs on there, going ahead and just trying to make sure that I got some ribs on there, I got some chicken, I got some burgers, I got some hot dogs. I'm getting it in today.
Showdown, March Madness now being named the Pac-12 Madness because the Pac-12 is just dominating everything right now. We'll talk a little Chiefs, including the addition of the bolstering of the defensive line, as well as Sammy Watkins going to the Ravens. I actually do want to start off with the Chiefs here first.
Okay.
The signing to bolster their D-line, this is big. The Chiefs D-line, you and I have both talked, they need to get more production. And this, to me, signing Jarran Reed almost moves Chris Jones, or at least gives him the ability to play some defensive end. And I don't know if we'll see him there, but my gut tells me we'll see him more at defensive end than we have in the past. What do you think this move, the signing of Jarran Reed, does for Kansas City?
Well, obviously it bolsters the defense up, and I think that's something that Kansas City sorely needed. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get from Frank Clark first and foremost, and then again, perhaps this elevates Chris Jones's play, and it also allows you to move him around, as you mentioned, allow him to play some on the defensive end as well as the tackle and stuff. And so, if I'm Chris Jones, I like this move. I like somebody who is a proven NFL starter. One, he took less money to come to Kansas City, and I think he took like $5.5 million when they offered about eight and a half to stay in Seattle. So the fact that you were willing to come to Kansas City and to play with this defense, and look, it may say more so about Patrick Mahomes than it does Russell Wilson, where you got a chance to go to Super Bowl with Seattle, but you have more of a chance and a more likelihood to get to a Super Bowl and win a title with Patrick Mahomes. So I like this move. I think he fits in well with Steve Spagnuolo's system. And, again, anything that bolsters the defense. And right now you're looking at a move that Brett Veach makes that improves both the offense and the defense. Obviously, some of the moves that he made offensively was to bolster protecting Patrick Mahomes. But on the defensive side of the ball, everybody thought he kind of forgot about that side, and this shows that he didn't. And Brett Veach is still someone who has enough goodwill and has enough cachet based off of what he's done the last 3 seasons that you just kind of sit back and let him move his boards on the chess piece and just sit back and see the moves that he makes.
So Jarran Reed can make up to $7 million based on incentives with this deal. He joins Chris Jones, Tershawn Wharton, Derek Nottie in the middle. But this, to me, again, Darren, I think we'll see Chris Jones play some D-end. We've seen him play D-end in spurts, and he's been effective at D-end. Jarran Reed, again, Chris Jones and Jarran Reed would be an absolute bloodbath in the middle. Good luck trying to stop both those dudes coming up the middle. Jarran Reed has 19 sacks over the past 3 seasons. Just to me, you need someone to play at edge, and Chris Jones has filled that role very solidly in the past. To me, that makes a lot of sense.
No, I mean, it makes perfect sense, like you said. But again, if this is used to bolster the defense, this perhaps could help spice up Chris Jones. And I know someone I saw read on Twitter that they think that he could actually go after the league record in sacks. I'm just like, slow down, hold on, let's let him get to 15 and a half sacks first before we start trying to elevate him to to those other standards or whatever. But again, I like the move. I don't see anything wrong with it. Um, and again, he did a 1 year deal because, as I mentioned before, I like the 1 year deals that they're doing right now because the next year, when the cap increases, you get a chance to make more money on the open market.
So Reed was known as a run stopper early in his career, and then he kind of grew into a dominant pass rusher. Do you think that this versatility that he possesses helps Kansas City not only on getting after the quarterback, but we've known they have struggled stopping the run at times. We know running backs can gouge Kansas City up the middle. Is this maybe the best possible fit that Kansas City could have gone out and got the best possible D tackle that Kansas City could have had?
Well, I'm not going to say that. I mean, I'm pretty sure there were other options out there, but but for what they were, what Kansas City was willing to pay, and obviously what he was willing to accept, worked in Kansas City's favor. So I'm not going to, because there are still probably some decent free agents. And again, you look at what Kansas City has and what they have left underneath the salary cap. This just shows that they're not through making moves and that they can still get some quality veterans out here who can play at a high level. I think his best year might have been in 2018 where he had like 10 and a half sacks. But the moves that they made, again, I mean, I got no qualms with it. I mean, they can continue to do more with the money that they have underneath the salary cap, and obviously whatever they look to get in the upcoming NFL draft, we should also, like I said, just sit back and just let Brett Veach do his thing. We like, look, as well as I do. I love playing. I like to make it seem like I'm Brett Veach with the salary cap and stuff, and on who to bring into the team and stuff like that. But I mean, I like what he's doing. We talked about on my show yesterday on Sports Radio 810, the ship with Darren Smith Sundays. This Sunday coming up at 9:00 a.m. Shameless plug. But the moves that he's made, again, he has afforded that cachet based on 3 AFC championship trips, 2 Super Bowl trips, and a Super Bowl win. Brett Veach deserves, and because people complain about what role is Andy Reid playing. Andy Reid can get in on a Zoom call or a phone call. He doesn't have to be sitting in the office like Brett Veach. This is Brett Veach's job, so Andy Reid allows Brett Veach to do his job versus Andy Reid trying to, make any type of moves without Brett Veach's approval.
Do you think this is a better signing than Melvin Ingram? Melvin Ingram, of course, came, visited Kansas City, and then he left without a deal. Do you think this is a better signing as far as the fit for Kansas City? And do you think this officially closes the door on Melvin Ingram coming to Kansas City?
Oh, that's a real good question. I don't know because if they sign Melvin, then do you go to a 3-4 or fourth? I can't remember what defense they run right now, but if you get Melvin Ingram, I mean, you just bolster your firepower. Again, I don't know what type of money was offered to him. So again,
Yeah.
maybe as people like to say, Brett Veach doesn't have option A, B, C, go down. Maybe Ingram was option A, and then maybe that didn't fly, so they went this direction. So um, then do they play the same position? I guess would be my question. I know Ingram
No,
is
I mean Ingram's more of an edge. Jerron Reed's more is interior. I mean
so
Kansas City runs a 4-3 base technically, but it's more of a 4-2-5 because they end up having 3 safeties and only 2 linebackers. It's more of a 4-2-5.
yeah. So I mean, I can see it. I mean, you can still have them in there. I mean, I think if it strengthens your strength, then so be it. I mean, and if somehow he were to come to Kansas City, I'm pretty sure Steve could find a way to put him on the field. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
at
with
the end
you.
of the day, I mean, like I said, iron sharpening iron.
I think that this does not take Kansas City out of the Melvin Ingram, sweepstakes, because I don't think Melvin Ingram is going to be commanding a lot of money. I think a similar deal is in the cards for Melvin Ingram this year, if not a little less based on his past injury concerns. This just to me maybe spells the end of that hope, because I don't know if both were coming in, and that's my reason is, okay, we let Melvin Ingram get away. Where's our next guy on our board? Where's the next guy we can go and get? And that to me was Jarron Reed.
Well,
I just don't know how much. I was going to say, I just don't know how much more money they will put into the defensive line. I know there's money to work with. I just don't know how much more they want to put and sink into this D line that has, frankly, underperformed, even with some of the large contracts on it.
let me turn the question around on you then, because I know we talk about the D line and stuff, but as critical as you was about our linebacking play last year, would you like to see the Chiefs, improving? I mean, I know we talk about Willie Gay, and hopefully he'll be able to come back healthy. And of course, he didn't get it. I think he may have started a couple of games due to injuries, but he hasn't really taken that next step just yet. I know that's putting a lot of pressure on a rookie, so to speak. But would you like to see Kansas City, I guess, improve on their linebacking core?
Honestly, no. Right now, I'm fine with it, because it's going to sound weird, but there's a reason behind it. I don't think it's as big of a need as people may think. And the reason why is they only use two linebackers. Anthony Hitchens plays about 100% of the snaps anyways.
Right.
And based on his contract, he's entrenched. Anthony Hitchens is there. He's your guy. He's starting. He's going to be there. He's been healthy. He's been solid, not spectacular by any means, but he's been solid. I think he's a little underranked. And then Willie Gay Jr. is your guy. He's your other starter. Those are your
if
two.
he comes back healthy.
I think all indications said he's the guy. He is your guy. To me, after that, you have linebackers who are going to be filling in here and there. But I don't want Kansas City to go out and draft a, first 2-round linebacker. I don't want Kansas City to spend a whole bunch of money on that position, because I don't think it's a position of need right now for Kansas City. That's not the biggest glaring issue. You and I will both agree it's probably offensive line, although they've filled some holes, and then probably wide receiver. I care about those two spots way more than I do right now about linebacker. I am comfortable at linebacker.
No. I mean, that's fair. I would say right now, much as I love talking about the O-line, I think more pressing is going to be the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
Going into the draft. I mean, because you got the two linemen, that the two people that you signed right now in the offseason, you're bringing back Reader. You're going to put Lucas Niang somewhere. The offensive line for the most part can be considered set. I mean, you can still make improvements. You can still bring another veteran in, whether it's at left tackle or right tackle, and let the chest fall where they may, wherever you put Lucas Niang. But with obviously now that Sammy Watkins is off the board, I think the Chiefs are probably going to start looking at the wide receiver I mean, if you want to go with Demarcus Robinson, fine. I mean, and I have no problem with that. But obviously, you probably need to look at, man, I want to say if you can find a gem, a hidden gem in the draft where you can find a big, fast, maybe a DK Metcalf type receiver in the draft. That's the direction I would go. I'm not exactly saying you need to go number 31 with him, but definitely I would say no later than the second round. I would be looking at getting a quality wide receiver that could perhaps be your number two with the potential to be number one in case Tyreek Hill hits the free agent market next year.
Yeah, and there have been reports that the Chiefs have checked in on Russell Okung. Nothing formal, but there have been reports that they've at least checked in with Russell Okung. Sammy Watkins, again, signing with the Ravens. 1 year, I think it was $6 million.
No, I thought it was upwards to 8, or between 6 and 8, between 5 and 8, I believe it is, something like that.
Yeah. It says worth 6, 5 guaranteed per Adam Schefter is what that's what I'm seeing right here. I don't think it's a lot of money. I think that's probably
more than what the Chiefs were going to give.
Yeah, but my thing is, if you offered Sammy Watkins $5 or $6 million, would you offer Sammy Watkins that amount of money?
Man, boy, you really put me on the spot today. If I knew he would stay healthy, yes. But the problem is I can't guarantee that. Because of what he made in Kansas City, I think his last 3 years here. I mean, $5 million is a bargain for him,
Yeah.
but only if he again, man. See, and I don't want to make it seem like I don't like him because I do. I love Sammy Watkins. He's a great guy, both on and off the field. It's just that the best ability is availability, and it's. I think he's only played one full season in his career, and this is I think going into year number 8 or so for him. And he has just not been able to stay healthy. I was watching Undisputed today, and they literally went down the litany of injuries that he's had over his career, and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, I mean, and most of it seemed like it came during his time here in Kansas City. So,
Yeah.
so with and so, look, I wish him nothing but the best um, in Baltimore. Obviously, I don't wish him success against the Chiefs, but for what they're doing and the style of offense that they run, I believe he can contribute. Again, if he's able to stay healthy and stay on the field, I, good guy. But to answer your question, would I pay him five if he could stay healthy? Yes, I would have paid him. I would have offered and paid him $5 million with a chance to get up to 6. But the problem
S-
is, I can't be assured of his health status because
s-
again, if I go, he's got a concussion, and that's what scares me.
to me, if I knew he was staying healthy, I'd offer him 10 to 12.
Well, no, no, no,
This
no, I'm not doing that.
this to me for 5 million is a bargain. This
Oh
is
yeah, 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 of
a
course.
hedge bet. 5 million's a hedge bet on him. This is hopefully he plays
But it's
12
to prove
games.
it as well. I mean, but
Sure.
like you said, I mean, he's betting on himself because, again, as I mentioned, day in day out of what the salary cap is going to be next year, and this is look, we talk. Look, we've been talking about quote unquote Sammy Watkins could be a number one on somebody else's team. Well, this is his chance to be a number one on Baltimore's team. So if he can be that number one and everybody feels that he is, his numbers, whether it's with Lamar Jackson or not, should be able to reflect that next year. Now they were dead last in the league last year, Sterling, in passing. They were number one in rushing, number 32 in passing. Now,
Yeah.
granted, outside of maybe Hollywood Brown, he didn't really have, and I know he liked to throw his tight end. He didn't
Mark
really have,
Andrews, yeah.
yeah. So they didn't really have like stud receivers. Sammy Watkins was the 4th overall draft pick in this class. This is the time for him to put up and show people why you were I think he might have been the first receiver picked in his draft or whatever. If he was the 4th overall, I just can't remember the top 3 above him.
Sure, sure.
But look, if that is the case, this is an opportunity for him to show that he can be a number one receiver, and then the following year get paid like one.
Very good point. I just think that if we knew, I'm interested to see what did Kansas City offer him if they offered him at all. I
I
I
don't think
am
they
very
offered him anything, man. To be quite honest, I just,
no.
I just,
I don't think so either. Because if this is what the deal was, I don't see Kansas City saying, "Hey, you playing for 2." Like I think that'd be a bad look for Kansas City to say, "Will you play for 2 million?" Because we know that's well under his value. That's just lowballing him completely to just disrespectful. I think if you did that to him.
well, the only thing is, I think Demarcus Robinson made like 2.5 last year, or 2.5 to
Yeah, but
3.
those aren't even
No,
comparable
what?
players.
No, I'm saying, well, yeah, but I'm saying, but again, Demarcus had other offers around the league, and
Sure.
and then but his choice at the end of the day was, I can make. Trust me, I know. I talked to so, to say that he can make more money playing elsewhere, but he was like, at the end of the day, I got number 15. And look, he knows Kansas City because he was drafted and he's been there the last 4 years. So, I mean, or last 4 or 5 years. So, this is an opportunity for him again to prove himself because he was the number 3 receiver. Of course, he bumped up to number 2, and I think might have been a game or two throughout his career. He might have been the number 1 option. I remember, I think it was in Oakland. I remember Steve and
The
I were
Raiders
there. Yeah,
game.
the Raiders. Yeah, I think he had like 2 touchdowns in that game, 2 or 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, he can perform when his number is called. But the question is, can he perform as a number 2, as a number 3, or what? And so, again, uh, Kansas City is in a position kind of like New England. You get little bit of success. It breeds a little bit of arrogance. You can kind of dictate if players want to stay in. Now, hey, we can do it. Play for a little less money, so we can get some other players in. And this is a situation where, basically it worked out better for him. Look, for Sammy is at least had playoff contenders that were looking to get him.
Sure. Yeah.
Indianapolis, Baltimore. So it's not like he's fallen off by going to Baltimore or had he ended up in Indianapolis. It's just not Kansas City. And so
I'm just going to say I'm nervous that Kansas City doesn't have a legitimate veteran number 2 who's been there and done that heading into this season.
well,
No Ty.
that's
No,
and that's what I mentioned earlier. That's the need that they need to look at this moment. Like you said,
but there's just no
bringing
one
in Reed.
left.
I mean,
Wide receivers. T.Y. Hilton, gone. Juju Smith-Schuster, gone. Marvin Jones Jr., gone. Sammy Watkins was your next best veteran guy left. After that, there's a mass. Hell, Willie Snead got picked up. At this point, if you're Kansas City, you're going, we have to either go through the draft or we have to hope someone who barely missed a team last year, like Maurice French, maybe we're going him, maybe we're going Jody Fortson, maybe you're throwing out Marcus Kemp. Someone's going to have to make the team and step up and say, we're trusting that the depth, even though we have a bona fide number 2, we're hoping that our depth shines through. I just don't know about that. That makes me nervous.
you know what? I talked about it last week, Sterling, and I don't think I talked about it on the show yesterday, but part of me wants to see, a part of me is thinking, and I feel real bad about this because I don't like the guy, and I'm a gambler, but would they take a chance on Antonio Brown? Because here's the thing, he's won a Super Bowl, and he wants to get paid now. I'm not paying him $8-9 million. I would go with 3 to an extent. To an extent, if I could, if I knew his behavior, I would give him maybe a $3-4 million deal with incentives that could go up to $8 million. But obviously, it's going to be tied on not only what he does on the field, but his behavior as well. And so, you know, I, that would be more so of a, this is what you've done over your career versus what have you done for me lately. And the only reason why, and it hurts me to even say bring him Kansas City, but I know how good this man can be. And look, I just picture now, Sterling. We know what he was when he was at Pittsburgh as a number one option, and we can say he's removed, but he's in game shape. Because he played, he played the 8 9 games. He played the 8 games, eight regular season games for Tampa Bay, but before the playoffs, so he's got 12 games, so he's in football shape. I'm sorry, go ahead. For some reason, I'm not able to hear you, Sterling. So
I think we lost you
Oh
there,
no, no,
Darren.
okay, no, I hear you now. But no, but what I'm saying, just hear me out. When it comes to AB, I just think because of what he's still able to possess, he's still got his speed. He's still quick, and he can play inside or outside. If you have him on the other side of Tyreek, and Tyreek's going to be doubled, Antonio Brown can find the open area on the field. You still got Kelsey, and then if you decide to go with a 3 wide receiver option, all I'm saying is that I think that he can help the team. I'm not saying a number one, but I'm saying bring him in to help the offense. I think that would be a move that I would look at.
Dude. Yeah, on the field playing's fantastic. Dude's crazy. I don't want him. I don't want the crazy.
But that's
Get
why
me
you make
far
the
away from
contract
Antonio Brown. You know
incentive
why?
laden.
I don't want him near Patrick. Don't touch him. It's not Tom Brady. Tom Brady has his own little crazy side. They live together. I don't want Antonio Brown living with Patrick. There's a
Well,
reason
he can
why
stay
only
with me. I
two
got I got I
teams
got
have been
room
reported
upstairs.
to
He can stay
want,
with
or
me.
even. All right, stay with Darren. Yeah, I don't know about that one. There's only two teams reportedly interested in Antonio Brown. Only two.
What
There's a reason for that.
what two is that?
Ravens and Seattle.
Well, I think Tampa still, but yeah. Oh yeah.
No,
I,
I'm just telling you, Ravens and Seattle have been the only two teams reported interested in him, and
those
I
are
don't
still
think
playoff
Seattle had the
teams.
best.
You can't lose either way. Those are still playoff teams.
It's Rave. If I'm surprised that someone like Seattle even would be interested after the ordeals with Josh Gordon. I don't think they want to take another guy who they can't count
Well,
on.
hold on, wait a second. Those are two separate. Antonio Brown doesn't use drugs, so that's a big difference. I mean, you just have to worry about what he does on Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. But Antonio Brown on the field, you don't have nothing to worry about. Again, trust me, Sterling. I get what you're saying. You forget who you're talking to. I'm the one that nicknamed him Can't Get Right. It hurts me to say, but again, this is about winning and losing. Winning and losing. Because at the end of the day, what do Chiefs fans care about? They care about trying to win the Super Bowl. What did Tom Brady? Tom Brady went out of his way to make sure Antonio Brown got there because he felt that he could help contribute to win the Super Bowl. He caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl against Kansas City. He helped that team win a Super Bowl. That's what matters. That's what counts. Now he was on his best behavior down there, but why? He was also on an incentive laden contract. You put him on that in Kansas City where he gets those numbers again. He has to play well. It's not going to benefit him to come to Kansas City and act a damn fool because he gets cut. Nobody's going to pick him up. That's the whole point.
Dude, that was like his fourth team in a year and a half. He went from Steelers to the Raiders to New England. Yeah, don't forget about New England. And then he went all the way to Tampa Bay. There's a reason why he's damaged goods, dude. Don't get Antonio Brown
He's
anywhere
damaged
near
goods.
Patrick.
They got a Super Bowl ring against the Kansas City Chiefs. I got
dude.
You. I know. No,
dude.
I got you on them, but I'm saying, but you have to be mindful of what you're saying because you're speaking from an emotional part. I'm speaking about common sense. Kansas City Chiefs fans care about winning. If Antonio Brown can help Kansas City win, that's what they care about.
Dude, Tom Brady seems to be a whisperer to Antonio Brown because no, it wasn't. Bill Belichick couldn't stop him. Bill Belichick couldn't do anything about it. The Oakland Raiders.
Hold on. Belichick wanted to keep him. It was Robert Kraft. He went after the owner. You don't have a choice but to cut him when he does it. When he goes after the owner, Belichick wanted to keep the man. They just,
but it didn't work. I'm just saying it didn't work. I don't want to take that risk. I do not want to take the Antonio Brown risk. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, look, we agree to disagree, but again, you're talking to somebody who doesn't like Antonio Brown, but I'm also being realistic about the options and what Chiefs fans want. Chiefs fans want another Super Bowl. They want to win. To me, look, you're sitting there talking about a veteran wide receiver, somebody go on the opposite side of Tyreek Hill. There's not too many out there. I do know the people, the ones that are out there. I know Antonio Brown is out there. Again, for all his faults, for all his can't get right stuff, he was able to make it through Tampa Bay last year after his suspension was served, playing the games without getting in any trouble down there, going through a playoff run, and helping the team win a Super Bowl. He contributed, whether we like it or not, he contributed with a touchdown against Kansas City. Now, last I checked, Tyreek didn't score, Sammy didn't score. Nobody found the end zone for Kansas City.
Antonio Brown wasn't scoring if he was on Kansas City last year. You know that. You know the offensive line was the issue. We know this.
We call it what you want, but it doesn't change the fact that he scored a touchdown against Kansas City and he's got a Super Bowl ring.
Sure.
Okay,
no, I'm not disagreeing with that. That's not the point I'm disagreeing with. I don't want to do that. I don't know if he's going to burn his feet. I remember
that's why you make it an incentive-laden contract, Sterling. You don't give him an $8 million fully guaranteed contract. You give him 3 to 5. I mean, you give him between 3 or 4, and with upwards of $8 million if he hits certain benchmarks and helps the team lead to a Super Bowl. He did all that in Tampa Bay.
We will agree to disagree on Antonio Brown because I don't want that dude anywhere near Mahomes. I don't want him getting in his dome.
If that dude came to Kansas City, was on his best behavior, and helped the team win the Super Bowl, you went, Darren, man, you was right, man. I can't believe Antonio Brown did that.
Hey, guess what? You are 100% correct.
I always am.
And I wouldn't believe that Antonio Brown stayed on his best behavior for an entire season in Kansas City. You are correct. That's a bad bet. That's like betting, in roulette on green's going to come up. Bet zero. Yeah, I don't want to spin the wheel. Don't spin the wheel. I don't want to take that bet.
Okay.
All right. Hey, we'll agree to disagree on this one. We do got to take a quick break. We'll come back, talk some NCAA, talk some March Madness, and talk about the Pac-12. What? Pac-12. This is Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City.
Are you looking for unique sporty clothing and merchandise that makes you stand out from the crowd? Do you love Kansas City sports teams? The Cherry Company designs and creates fashion-forward gear for athletes, avid sports fans, and everything in between. Check out our famous Casey Mahomes denim jacket at cherrysportsgear.com or find it in stores in the Made in KC, Lee Summit, or Plaza location. Sport styles, sport local, sport Cherry. Want a 20% off discount? Mention 810 Sports in store or use code 810 online. Stay on top and visit cherrysportsgear.com today.
Want to save hundreds on your wireless bill? With Xfinity Mobile, you can. How about saving hundreds on the new Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G? You can do that too. All on the most reliable network? Sure thing. And with fast nationwide 5G included at no extra cost, we've got you covered. So join the carrier rated #1 in customer satisfaction and learn how much you can save at xfinitymobile.com/mysavings. Restrictions apply. Requires post-pay Xfinity Internet. Most reliable based on results from RouteMetrics.com U.S. report. Results vary, not an endorsement.
Family Leisure is having our Factory Direct sale. Looking forward to spring for patio furniture or a new hot tub? Family Leisure has factory incentives going on now. Do you want to start a new career? Family Leisure is growing and wants you to join our championship family. If you want to be the best, come join the best at Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. Now hiring for sales, service, warehouse, Bobcat operators, and more. Family Leisure, K10 and Ridgeview in Olathe.
Awesome! The DePasquale Moore Law Firm has partnered up with the Greater Kansas City Football Coaches Association to offer a free combine for rising senior football players in the Metro on Sunday, April 17th. High school seniors in the Greater Kansas City area should contact their football coach to see if they are eligible. Deadline is April 1st. It's the DePasquale Moore 2021 Combine, April 17th at Baser Linwood High School. Contact your high school football coach today. Space is limited.
Spring is coming, so plan now to keep those bugs out with Augustine Exterminators. Now is the time to establish and or maintain a barrier around your house. Don't let it break down. At Augustine Exterminators, they have you covered. Augustine is a family-owned local business since 1966. All of their techs are certified in both Missouri and Kansas. In fact, check out their amazing reviews from all their KC area customers. They're also a Quality Pro and Green Pro company. Augustine also does carpet, rug, air duct, and tile cleaning. They have an excellent referral program as well. Refer a new customer, and you and they get $25 off their next service. That's right. Refer a friend, and you both get $25 off your next service. Shop and buy local with Augustine Exterminators. Call Augustine Exterminators today at 913-359-8627 or go online at AugustineExterminators.com. And Augustine is looking for qualified technicians. Call today at 913-359-8627. 913-359-8627. We're ballin' like March Madness.
Welcome back to Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City, 1510 AM, 94.5 FM, Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope. Darren, I have to keep doing it. It just gets me so excited.
We're ballin' like March Madness.
Anytime it says it, you know it's March Madness.
Hey, man, if it helps get us through the show, I'm all for it, man.
I mean, why not? Why not?
It is March Madness. Let's see, first of all, you slacking because when somebody says March Madness, you're supposed to hit it, but see, you didn't pay attention.
It's tough. So we have multiple computers back here, and I can't pull anything up unless I keep it on. I have to keep it on this. Like it's frustrating back here. We need some more technology.
To whom much is given,
we need some
much is
future.
expected, Sterling.
We need some future technology back here. See, look at that.
To whom much is given, much is expected, Sterling. And so we expected. And shout out to Chad back there who put on his mask. I saw him walk back in his office to go get that mask. So yes, our owner.
Darren, I do want to talk about, though, March Madness, and I do want to talk about the Pac-12, who is just absolutely running through, dominating right now. It's unbelievable. USC, Oregon State, UCLA, and to the point where they're beating up on each other. I mean, UCLA beat up on Oregon. Are you surprised about the dominance of a conference that I don't think many people had as highly touted this year, or especially not highly talented?
Yeah, no. I'm very shocked at what we've seen. And, the fact that you've gotten, I think you got 3 teams that are in the Elite Eight, so to speak. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, who we got tonight? We got Oregon State taking on Houston, and then tomorrow, of course, USC and UCLA. I, I I think the road ends for all of them, tonight and tomorrow. But the fact that UCLA, for example, playing in a playing game to make it as far as they had. I think the last team to do that was VCU. I think was Shaka Smart,
Yeah.
going in the playing game and then making all the way to the Final Four. So, look, it's no one has really talked much about the Pac-12 this year, and the fact that you've got you you got one Big 12 team. And you've got one Big 10 team that's in the Elite Eight trying to get to the Final Four, basically based off of all the teams that they had in the tournament. That says a lot about the strength of the Pac-12 and where they, people. And, to be quite honest, if I'm a recruit, I don't know, maybe just me. I like locations. Okay, so when I was in high school, before my blackness settled in on me, and I wanted to go to HBCU, I was trying to go to Miami or Florida State. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking beach, women, bathing suits. I mean, I was playing football, so I mean, that's all I was thinking about. That was granted. I mean, I was always smart in school, so education wasn't, that wasn't a thing for me because I knew I was going to get that one. But I'm just, but I was also thinking back then, like, man, be down there in Miami and Florida State, and plus I was big on Deion Sanders, and during that time, during the mid '90s, it was Miami and Florida State all the time. So watching college football, so I was definitely hooked on that. And then of course, about USC with their program out
Sure.
there. So I'm
Yeah.
like Hollywood. I mean, beaches, women, bathing suits. Hey, man, if I could turn back the hands of time, I would still want to go to an HBCU. But man, I would show that would be my second option. If let's just say, for example, I couldn't get no, because I could go to Florida. I could go to Florida A&M because it's in Tallahassee, and yeah, so I could.
Yeah, but Tallahassee, you don't want Tallahassee. How about
Trust me, I
idea
know,
here, Darren?
I know.
How about this? You and me, we do an HBCU, but put it in California on the beach.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't. Am I? No.
yeah,
Is that?
yeah.
I
No,
mean,
no, I would do that. I would do that.
y-
I would do that.
I mean, that's just teamwork right there.
I would do that.
I
But you
just
know
say,
what? See, I'd have to get a job as a dorm director, so I wouldn't have to like do anything. No, take it back. No, I'd be a sports information director. Because that's what I did when I was at Lincoln University. So I'd be a sports information director. Well, let's refocus about what we're talking about because you got me sidetracked right
Darren's
there.
over here trying to figure out what he's going to do at his what I can't even say the word right now. Imaginary HBCU on the beach in California that him and myself are starting. But no, let's talk about the first game tonight: Oregon State versus Houston. Oregon State's had this magical run where first they won the Pac-12. I mean, no one expected them to even get close to the finals, let alone win the Pac-12. Then they won the first game, then the second game, then the next game. And all of a sudden they're playing this Houston team. I think a lot of people have Houston where they're at right now. I think a lot of people have them winning whoever they're going to play. But Houston has shown they can be beaten. They've gotten some close games already this tournament. How do you think this one plays out? Is it time for the Cinderella Oregon State's time to end, or does it continue one more game?
It can for Houston because Houston has been to a Elite Eight since 1984. So I mean they're
Yeah,
kind
but
of
they're
one
a
of those.
2 seed. They're favored. I mean, a lot of people have Houston in the Final Four. They're favored. This is not a Cinderella story for Houston.
Oh man, I think Houston pulls it out. I just again when you get down to this part, Elite Eight, Final Four, I think you're getting the best teams. And right now, Houston is just really hitting on all cylinders. I mean, we're seeing a Quentin Grimes that KU fans and KU, people who cover KU were hoping they were going to see his freshman year. As Kanisha said on my show yesterday, obviously you see a lot of experience and growth between a freshman and a junior. The fact that he's near, he's back home playing, for his local college team, and the fact that they've pretty much just allowed him to play his game, man, it helps, man. Defensively, as you've mentioned, I mean, I'm real interested to see how these teams hold up because Oregon State did a great job against Oklahoma State, and once they got on top of them, they never really let up, and they were able to pretty much take care of the College Player of the Year in Cade Cunningham. So, are they able to do that? The one thing about Houston has the green light to shoot 3-point shots. Now, hopefully, they shoot 3-point shots better than Alabama shoots free throws.
Yeah.
Because if they can do that, I think Houston runs away with the game. But when we look at it and look at the odds and stuff, 8 points for Oregon State. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm wondering if I should give Oregon State those 8 points against Houston.
This is one of those things where if this was a regular season game, you see Houston favored by 8 points, you go, oh, they're winning by 20. All of a sudden, March Madness comes around, and you're sitting here going, holy bleep, Oregon State's on this Cinderella run. They may win. I have Houston winning this game. I think it is going to be close, but I think Houston wins. Quentin Grimes has just been phenomenal. I mean, DeJon Giroux, he's been playing through injuries, and he's been fantastic. The key difference for me is not only can Houston shoot and hit threes, they are one of the best offensive rebounding teams in NCAA. So when they miss, they're a lot of times getting second and third opportunities to score. That, to me, is going to be a huge difference maker against and again, nothing against the Pac-12. They've obviously shown to be fantastic, but they're not typically the biggest dudes out there. They're not typically as physical as the Big 10 or the Big 12. I know Houston's not in one of those conferences, but the fact is they are so good at offensive rebounding and hitting threes. Those are two massive aspects. Come March Madness, I still have Houston winning.
I mean, I got Houston. Well, I had Houston actually losing this game tonight, but I had them losing against Oklahoma State. So, but of course, and I look at it, Oregon State, and look, Oregon State, they got a pretty depth line. And look, man, if you look at their roster still, and their shortest player is only 6'3". I mean, so they have a height on that team where they can put a hand up and put a face in the defenders. I mean, if you look at their starting lineup is probably somewhere between 6'5" and 6'10". I know they got a 7-footer on as well. I know he doesn't play much; he's a senior, but I wouldn't. Man, this is a tough one, man. I'm gonna go with Houston, but man, now that I think about it, I'm giving Oregon State the 8 points.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan Thompson has been just fantastic. Ethan Thompson has been an absolute stud. He's been the Quentin Grimes for Oregon State.
But the question is, do they go over or under 129 points?
Under. Neither teams are huge. As much as Houston gets shots up, and as great as they are offensive rebounding, they don't hit enough. I mean, if you look at their previous games, the scores, they scored, 65?
Well,
last,
I mean,
last game?
They scored 62 and they scored 63 against
62.
Rutgers, but they did hit for 87 against Cleveland State. But again, this be the
Cleveland
one time.
State.
Yeah, but I mean,
come on now.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you tell me under, and then they come out and hit 15 threes, and I'll be looking at you like, man, all my money gone because it's Sterling.
Don't trust me.
Well, no. I need you to trust yourself.
I go with my gut. I looked at this and my gut said under.
Okay, but your gut also told you under over the weekend, and you went against yourself.
Well, okay, because the Alabama dude all of a sudden hits a three, just tie it because they couldn't hit a free. Yeah, that was frustrating. That was miserable. Baylor, Arkansas. This is the marquee matchup of the night. Baylor, a lot of people have them in the finals. I actually do. Arkansas, who, again, a lot of people have them in their Final Four. This is a very good matchup. Should be higher scoring. Who do you have in this SEC Big 12 matchup?
Well, I got Baylor winning because I have them facing off against Gonzaga in the championship game. So, I'm not going to go against my pick. Arkansas, though, man. Looking at what Arkansas did the other night, I mean, it went down to the wire with Oregon. I'm sorry, with the Oral Roberts, and their games have always been close. Their games, I mean, they won, they won the last two games. Oral Roberts, and then Texas Tech by 2 points each, 68-66 and 72-70. So, I'm nervous because I want to give Baylor the 7.5 because Baylor is just, I think Baylor is just top to bottom, just better than Arkansas. But Arkansas with but I respect Arkansas enough with their, with what they've done in defensive, because they actually came back from behind to beat Oral Roberts, and so
Yeah.
and that's not to take anything away from Oral Roberts, or whatever. But look, but in the tournament, nothing is nothing's a slam dunk any longer.
Yeah, I mean, typically you can go, oh, it's a 15 seed, right in the 2, right in the 3. It's not like that anymore. The only thing I'll say is, as much as I like Baylor, I think Arkansas keeps this game close. They do have a lot of firepower. Just watching them firsthand play Mizzou and seeing their 6-man JD Note light it up, that makes me nervous that he could get hot quickly. Obviously Moses Moody is an absolute stud. He's going to go into the NBA draft. They have a lot of guys who can score. Jalen Tate's very good defensively. I like Baylor in this game, but I do think it's going to be an extremely close, maybe comes down to a 1 or 2 possession type of game.
My question is, one, if that's the case, then I got to give Arkansas 7.5.
I did.
Yeah, but the big question is, scoring wise, is it a high enough game where it's over or under 148 points?
This is very tough. I took the under based on how the majority of games, you and I both know, in March Madness, the majority of games that you and I have looked at have gone under. I need to stick with what I'm gonna say and go under here.
See, that's what, because look, I know this is what'll give me. They'll have a low scoring first half, and then we'll see what, like, Michigan did yesterday.
Yeah,
and explode for a second half, and then I'll just I'll be real, I'll be real upset if that were to happen. I just, when you look at a one, and I'm just gonna throw out, just say 150 points. I mean, that's like 80 to 70. I mean, and if you're talking about 1-2 possession game, that could be close. But but if that's the case, and we're looking at maybe 75, 73 or something like that, which, again, that's 148 points. So,
My thing is this: Arkansas plays fast. They can sometimes play out of control. They do get shots up. They're not always the best shots. A lot of times they're highly contested. A lot of times they're NBA-style shots coming from college kids. So if they're hitting this game, sure, this could easily go, could easily be an 85 game. I'm just not going to count on Arkansas all of a sudden going lights out in this game. I think Baylor is too good defensively to let that happen. All
right, so just to recap for our listeners, we've got both Houston and Baylor winning, but we're giving both teams, both of their opponents, the points.
Correct.
And we're both going under for both of these games?
Correct. It's weird saying under on a 129-point line, but just what we have seen.
60, that's what, 69-60.
Dude, I'm not going against my I'm not going against my gut, dude. I've been betting against my gut, and it's come back to bite me. I'm rolling with it this time.
All right, man. I think I might do $20 on this parlay tonight, and then save the other 20 for tomorrow. So,
so you're a high roller. I'm out here throwing like $1 and $2.
No. But hold on, no. This is free play money, so this is not my money. If I win, I win $251. If I lose, then it's $20 I never really had. So it's not my money; it's the money that they gave me. So I'm gonna just utilize it. So.
Darren out here just spending free money. We do need to take a quick break. When we come back, let's talk a little bit of the NBA news, including Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin. This is Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City.
Have you ever turned down a project because you didn't have the right trucks at the right time? With City Rent-A-Truck as your fleet solution, that will never happen again. They give you the freedom to grow your business without fleet limitations, leaving no project behind. Don't pay 100% of the cost of ownership for a vehicle you use 50% of the time. The flexible rental and lease options allow you to only pay for what you need. Visit cityrentatruck.com to see the large selection of work trucks and vans and request an online quote today.
Hi, this is Justin Cole, Private Wealth Manager at Creative Planning. Over the last few years, we have grown to one of the largest nationally recognized wealth management firms in the country. While we are proud of our success, we're most proud of our Kansas City roots. We were founded in Kansas City and remain headquartered here because there's no place we'd rather be. We're Kansas City strong. Thank you, Kansas City, for giving us a vibrant community in which to thrive. And thank you to our clients for putting your trust in us. We don't take this lightly. If you're not a client, we invite you to reach out for a free, no-obligation financial review with our experienced team of investment professionals, CPAs, and lawyers who will work together to build a comprehensive plan for you. You can find us at creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com. Or by calling 913-338-2727. 913-338-2727. Learn for yourself how Creative Planning has earned our recognition as a top national wealth advisory firm.
Honey, what should we do for dinner tonight?
I don't know. What do you want to do? I want to support somewhere local.
Have you heard?
Heard what?
Red Door Wood-Fired Grill has $5 classic burgers on Monday, and my buddy from work told me on Thursday they have the best jalapeno marinated fried chicken in all of Kansas City.
Get in.
Whether it be a juicy burger or chicken fried to perfection, there's something for everyone at Kansas City's favorite little upscale neighborhood joint, Red Door Wood-Fired Grill. What are you waiting for, KC? Get in here.
Work hard and play hard with Easy Sport, Boulevard's refreshing rally ale. Infused with tangerine peel and sea salt, Easy Sport hits the shelves at only 99 calories and 4.5 carbs. This subtly salty, slightly tart beer packs a punch of flavor. Whether you just finished a run, a pickup game, or mowing the lawn, Easy Sport is a refreshing, guilt-free way to celebrate the everyday. Grab an Easy Sport, Boulevard Brewing Company, Kansas City, Missouri.
In these trying times, Kansas City Credit Union knows how important cash flow is in your household. With rates near all-time lows, now's the time to take action. Free up some cash by lowering your monthly car loan payment when you refinance your auto loan with Kansas City Credit Union. And as a bonus, Kansas City Credit Union will delay your payments for 90 days. Visit kansascitycreditunion.com/810sports for more information. Kansas City Credit Union, your path to financial freedom.
Boom, 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 boom. Tell me what you gonna do, but it ain't nowhere to run.
Welcome back to Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City, 1510 AM, 94.5 FM, 1510.com, Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope. If you're on Facebook Live right now, my computer's about to die. Just fair warning right here. We got like 3 minutes left in the show. It ain't going to make it 3 minutes. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. So when my screen goes black, we're still probably got about a minute left. Darren, Blake Griffin brings up a very good point. We'll get to LaMarcus Aldridge in a second. But with Blake Griffin, everyone kept saying how trash he was, myself included. And then people are saying, oh, he's now with the Nets. That's unfair. What happened to all the people who were calling him trash just 6 months ago?
I mean, you can't win. You can't win for losing if you're Blake Griffin. I mean, if I'm Blake Griffin, I don't care. I take that smoke. If you get a world championship ring out of it, who gives a damn what anybody thinks or says?
100% agree. I just find it funny that people who were calling him bad and washed up are all of a sudden saying it's unfair he's going to the Nets. I still think he's kind of bad and washed up right now. I think he helps the Nets because the Nets had no one big, but I think the big signing that may be a little questionable as far as come on, Adam Silver. David Stern didn't allow Chris Paul to go to the Lakers because that was unfair, but you're allowing James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and LaMarcus Aldridge to play together. What do you make of Aldridge, a probably still all-star as far as his actual play still, going to the Brooklyn Nets?
I like the move. I mean, it again, as I mentioned earlier, it's iron sharpening iron. It makes him stronger, makes him more of a legit favorite to win the NBA title. I mean, look, man, this is one of the things I've always said about Kansas City with the high-powered offense. Win, blow teams out. You worry about sportsmanship after you lift the trophy up. I mean, you can worry about all this stuff when it's all said and done. I like the fact that they got the move to bring LaMarcus Aldridge. I like that they got Blake Griffin. I like that they acquired James Harden. I mean, if that's you should never one. It's not cheating. They had the roster space after going after James Harden. I think they had two or three slots to fill, and they just I mean they wait till Blake Griffin got his contract bought out, and they did the same with LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, it'd be different if they quote unquote cheated, but They did nothing. I mean, they just did what any team would have done in their position. Trust me, if LeBron James could have brought those players in, we'd be saying the same thing. I mean, look, nobody batted an eye when LeBron James had all those players traded to the Pelicans to get Anthony Davis in, and then of course when they signed Rondo, when they signed Dwight Howard, when these were all star and all NBA players, and Dwight Howard was a 2-time or 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Rondo had won a world title before with the. I mean, so wasn't like they were signing bums or whatever to fill out the roster. I mean, people were taking less money to play with the Lakers to have a chance to win a title. So I mean, again, my only thing had the same energy both ways. I don't have a problem. Look, I don't have a problem with super teams. I like it. Now it may hurt my bet and stuff because I'm trying to figure out who's going to have a good night and who's going to do X, Y, or Z. But I don't have a problem with it whatsoever.
I dislike super teams, but I have no problem with the Nets doing this. The Nets are doing what every other team would do.
Yeah.
I have more of a problem though with LaMarcus Aldridge doing this.
Why?
Dude, just to me, it just seems a little soft. I have more of a problem with the NBA allowing this to go because now it's almost like, okay, now it's just Nets versus Lakers. I like more parity. I did not like it when it was Cleveland and Golden State for like 6 straight seasons. I'm not gonna lie, that was boring to me. Look, what's the point? What's the point of the regular season and playoffs if it's going to be the same 2 teams?
It is not Cleveland, Golden State, Brooklyn, or LA's fault if other teams can't better their roster or do what they need to do to get things.
Well, look at it. It's New York and it's LA.
Hey, players didn't have a problem going to Miami when LeBron was down there, did they?
Sure. Also Miami. I'm saying, what about New Orleans? What about Charlotte? What about Milwaukee? What about Indiana? What about all these other Sacramento, Phoenix? What about all these other smaller market teams?
Giannis has a squad in Milwaukee. I know we got to go, but Giannis has a squad in Milwaukee.
He does. All right, we do got to go out. We'll talk more NBA tomorrow when we come back right here on.
If you're between the ages of 18 and 39, here's an amazing deal for you. You can become a young professional member at Tiffany Green's Golf Club.